Alright, so I'm giving you this assignment to draw these 3 shapes. I also have these 3 shapes as physical blocks that I can show you that I've cut out of foam. So that might be able to help you see the orientation of these parts. See, like that third one right there. So I want to start with the middle one. I believe you could probably do this one very easily without me, but I want to start with the middle one. To draw these, remember you need to get the height, the width, and the depth. So I'm just going to kind of put a note on the side here of height, width, and depth. If I measure the height, I can get it in multiple locations. I could measure it from here to here. I could measure it from here to here easily. You're getting it parallel with the lines. So whether I measure it from here to here or measure it from here to here, it will be the same. And that is 1. I'm going to count up the squares here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the height is 8. And I'm just writing the number up there just so I can remember. Depth is from front to back. Now I can get that from here to here, or I can kind of have a long line and count it from here to here. I think it'd be easier to count it at the top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can count it across here also if it's easier to see it between the darker lines. So that's a width of 6. Sorry, depth of 6. Width, I'm going to go across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8, 9, and 6. Those are our dimensions. So my front view, looking at it from here, this direction, from my front view, my shape will be 8 units tall and 9 units across. So I'm going to give myself some space here. It's going to be, let's go, one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Justin. Like that. And then I'll go across here. And I want to go across that to be the width, so that would be 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this, again, and I'm writing more than I normally would, but this is height versus width. This is my front view right here. I'm going to move over about 4 spots. And now I need to use my depth, which was 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I skipped, so that would be height again by depth. That's my right side view. Skip up 4. And that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This would make my 45-degree line. This again is depth by width, and that's my top view. Alright, so this is all just formatting the setup where I'm going to fit my front, right, and top. And if you find that easy to set that up, then you don't need to be so exaggerated with your lines like I am, and you don't need to label everything either. I'm just trying to be very clear as I go over this with you. So from the front view, I should see this box here. And that is 8 by, and if I count it, 2 units. Let me get a marker. That way it's a little bit clearer for you guys. So, of course, you can do yours in pencil. I'm just going to do mine as a marker so it's easier to see. So I'll have that shape there. If I were to look at my 3D shape, I'm talking about this line right here. Then I have this L shape and this triangle. Now, this triangle shape that I have here, it's not going to be a triangle from the front view. It's going to look like this. I do want to point out that when doing these sketches, the depth is completely removed in the perspective format where things further away are smaller, so I won't see like any sort of angling down and back like that like I would see with my eyes. It's going to be just flat there. So this is all the way to the edge, this L shape, and this L is 2 units thick all the way across. So that would be my front view, completed look of my front view. Now the right side view, I'm going to see this bar here, this rectangle here, and then I would see this from another view. So let me show you on the 3D model here. If I turn it, see what I was saying about the perspective? See how there's like this little gap between here and gap between here and here? That won't be shown where this looks bigger. When you draw it correctly, it will look like this. I'll have 2-inch wide from top to bottom rectangle. And then at the top, this would be 4 by 2 for a rectangle. And then the triangle portion would be here. See how all that perspective is removed? I don't show this being so far away from that. They're actually lined up smoothly. Now the easiest one is this top view, and it's the parts that are light. We've got an L and a triangle. So we've got an L shape here. Now, if I were to use construction lines, and this is just for the benefit of this, you don't necessarily have to do construction lines. This tells me where my triangle ends, if I hadn't figured that out already. So the triangle doesn't go all the way to the end, it goes that far. Now let's look at drawing the other ones. I'm not going to draw this one for you, but I'm going to help you start it. So, if I were to get the measurements of the depth and the width. So if I go across here, I see 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That would mean that's 8 across for width. For height, I would see 1, 2, 3, 4, plus this one right here, that's 5 in height. In depth, it's a little bit harder to see from here to here. It might be hard to count it. You can also count it like this, 2 across the back. This ramp goes down 2, and then I have 2 more. Or you could see that this whole triangle is 4 and the back is 2, so that makes 6 for depth. So I counted out the numbers for you. I'm only going to draw the front view for you, so that would be 8 by 5. So 5 in height, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 8. And I have that part too. From the front view, this item here would look like this. Notice how the ramps are not triangles anymore, they're rectangles. This is a long rectangle across the front. And then a rectangle going for the full height. It's 3 units by 2 units. And then I have this little notch here. So that is my front view. Now don't forget that as you draw your right sides and your top view, they should all line up. So I am going to show you this part here. I'm going to kind of slowly move it around so that you can see it in all its views, and this might help you figure out how to do the top, the front, and the right side of all the parts. And you shouldn't need my help for this L shape, but I'll show it anyways, just in case. I don't want you to not have as much help as possible. Okay, so it's your job to draw the top, front, right of this item and finish this item. And make sure to ask questions on the Zoom if you're stuck, and I'll help you as best as I can.